Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. I just have a few remarks. I'm going to take probably less time than Jesse did. The purpose of this gathering, as she explained, is to do two things. First, we want to provide you with accurate facts about the three upcoming bond issues to be voted on, with the rest of the ballot issues on the November 3rd election. Second, our group is in favor of all three of these issues, and we want to encourage everyone to vote in favor of these very important issues. Some would consider this a political issue. I do not. I consider it more of an issue of the informed versus the uninformed, but mostly I would consider this a face-off between those whose glasses are half full versus those whose glasses are half empty. What I've seen and heard from the people opposed to these projects is, first of all, voodoo mathematics, and second, I believe these people, for their own sake, would continue to be satisfied with 70% of our children in our school system being on the subsidized lunch program and graduating another senior class into a community with a one-dimensional economy that is not providing upwardly mobile jobs. In other words, socially engineered poverty is okay as long as they get their way. We firmly believe that we are going to have growth. It's inevitable. This growth, we believe, can lead to more and better paying jobs, while at the same time expanding our tax base so more people are paying taxes, thus lessening the burden on each individual. Growth is necessary for any community to survive. Next year, without any new initiatives, every municipal government entity in this country will have higher costs. You see, that policeman we all admire is going to want a raise, and he's going to go to work in another community that so desperately wants his services if we can't match that pay. It's as simple as that. The cost of talented people will always increase no matter what business you are in. No growth means we have to pay more just to get the same level of services. By expanding our tax base with a new micro-hospital that will feed into a larger healthcare facility in Corpus Christi, we will no doubt attract higher paying jobs in the forms of doctors, nurses, technicians, healthcare trained support staff, and the key will be to get those people to live here in our community. Having not only adequate but attractive amenities, such as an attractive state-of-the-art courthouse, will be part of the equation. New roads and drainage projects will be just as important, and the money the county must put up will be matched by a multiple of 16 times by federal and state agencies. Simply put, $1.2 million we put up will result in over $17 million in road and drainage projects, a bargain by any standard. As a community with an older population, a micro-hospital is a first step towards securing adequate health care for our seniors. Unless we are competitive with healthcare facilities, neither seniors or working-age adults will opt to live here versus the same type of community that can provide their family with a medical safety net. I look back to 1955. When the old courthouse was constructed, there were about 4,300 residents in our county. Those visionaries at that time built a 30,000 square foot courthouse that lasted 65 years. If you use that same math today with 23,500 people in the county, you would need to build a 164,000 square foot courthouse. No one is suggesting this. But we are suggesting that we do not need to build a courthouse just for our needs today, but instead one that will last us another 65 years. We want to be those visionaries who future generations look back on and thank, just as we can extend our debt of gratitude to those who in 1955 were looking out for their great-grandchildren's futures. I visited with many business leaders in our community, many of which pay significant amounts of various local taxes, including property taxes. And nearly everyone I have spoken to is in favor of all three of these projects. We all believe that Rockport, Fulton, and Aransas County will become even more of a destination as forces outside our control make our area more and more attractive each and every day. The business community here knows a bargain when we see it, and building a new courthouse at effectively a 40% discount with added monies provided by federal grants and insurance monies is not a hard decision to make. A smaller version of this building will only do two things. First, it will be inadequate And when more space is needed, the community will not be getting any discounts to add on. And given the current economic climate, there is no doubt that borrowing money in the future will cost us much more. Second, anyone that has ever built anything knows that the cost goes down as the size goes up. Reducing the size of this building will only result in a higher cost per square foot. Soft costs such as architectural fees and construction management fees, which are mandated by the state, will be nearly the same no matter what size building we go with. So building smaller will not result in any great cost savings no matter how much you try to cut corners. Finally, and most importantly, the cost analysis of these projects results in net lowering in the tax rate, meaning these things will not cost you a penny more, but actually a half penny less in the tax rate you are currently paying. Those who suddenly seem to be authorities on all things related to these matters are making it sound like these bond issues are a stretch for our finances while ignoring the fact that the bond rating agencies have stated we will maintain our AA rating, which is only one notch below the U.S. Treasury and the highest AAA status with the issuance of these debentures. The fact is we cannot afford not to do these projects. I hope my remarks have given you a little food for thought. We will be glad to discuss all areas of these projects at our tables we have set up for different topics to make it easier and more organized, and of course, to keep our social distancing intact. I know that I speak for all of those on the committee and many others in our community when I ask you to please consider all the facts and vote in favor of these three bond issues. Thank you.